Well, hello folks, this is Sheila E. again from Tennessee. Sheila E. from Tennessee, down home Southern Cooking in Mam's Kitchen. I've been hearing about these crustless pizzas, and I don't have all the ingredients, so I'm going to substitute a little bit and we're going to see what it turns out. The first one I'm going to do is just going to be a simple cheese with some spinach and the marinara sauce, but I'm using the ragu meat sauce that I had left over in the refrigerator that's still good. 70 calories for a half a cup. What I'm going to do, and the first thing they tell me that you're supposed to do is to put a little bit of olive oil in your pan. And this is how we're going to make our crust. It's going to be some mozzarella cheese. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here and turn you around here where you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to spread this around to where we won't stick. Of course, you can eat it out of the pan, because it's not going to have anything a whole lot in it. So the mozzarella says, and you can get, I believe you can get the light mozzarella for a fourth of a cup is 70 calories. So I'm going to measure out a fourth of a cup, but I don't believe that's going to be enough for a crust. That's a heaping fourth. So let's just see. Now that's going to be our crust, and it's going to probably take another one. So you all keep up with me. That's going to be about 140 calories. And I believe you can get the lower calorie, the low fat calorie. So this is going to be a half a cup total of mozzarella. Let me get you over here where you can see what I'm doing. You should get a little bit more. A half a cup of the mozzarella. This is a great value. I've got a great old big bag here, and it's 80 calories for a fourth of a cup. So I don't know. This is the reduced fat. Is what I'm using here. It's 70 calories for 70 calories for a fourth, and this is 80 calories for a fourth. So first, what we done was got some little bit of olive oil in the bottom of this pan. We've got some mozzarella. Then we're going to take my version of marinara. You can make your own marinara. It's not just tomato sauce and tomato paste and diced tomatoes and seasonings. So what I'm going to do, I want to be able to, there you go. I'm just taking this spaghetti sauce. I measured out a half a cup. Let's see, yeah, half a cup. And we're just going to try to spread this around. It's not going to take this whole half a cup, I don't think. And we're just going to spread this around. This is going to be our marinara. It's going to be our, even if it is, that's not a whole lot of calories right there. So, I've heard a lot about them, but I've not had them, and I do like pizza. So, it's sort of like a burrito. You're going to have some meat. This first thing I'm going to do is just going to be simple. I do have some sausage in the freezer. I could have fried it. Sausage tends to give me heartburn. So we're just going to do what we've got right here. And you know how I am about leftover stuff in the refrigerator. It is going to take this whole half a cup. So that's not that bad. Let's see how much calories that is. 70 calories for a half a cup. And then 140 for the cheese already. Alright, so we're going to spread that around here. And then it's just going to be a cheese and probably just something. I'm going to put some oregano on top of that, just a little, and then some garlic powder. Just so I would say this is probably about I don't want to say a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of oregano, but I am going to put about close to a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Don't that look good already? Now you see I have some leftover onions and peppers that I'm going to do my second one with. Also I got a can of spinach, and it's supposed to be half a cup, and this is one whole cup. This whole cup is 40 calories of the leaf spinach. So, and I drained it, so I wanted you to see that. So that's not a lot of calories in that. We've got a can of mushrooms, and this whole can of mushrooms is 30 calories. So, I mean, a lot of this stuff that you can put on, you can put on everything on. If you're going to do a supreme, dig out everything in your refrigerator you can think of. I've got my oven preheated to 350. I don't think this is just a mild chunky salsa, and it's got some tomatoes and peppers in it. But on this first one, what I'm going to try to do is just make it a cheese and spinach. A cheese and spinach pizza. So, this next one, we'll put everything we got on it. So we're just going to take some of this, and I drained it as much as I could. And it is canned spinach. It's been cooked. So I drained it. I got quite a bit of water out of it. So we got 1 whole cup of spinach after we drained it. I'm not sure exactly how long it will take. I think maybe 15 minutes would be fine when we start seeing that cheese bubbling from the bottom. And I am going to put my oven on bake. I'm going to leave it on confect. This on confect right now, 350. I'm not going to put any onions or anything on this one. I do have some pepperoni. I may just do the spinach and cheese for the first one. Let's add some more mozzarella cheese. Y'all keep up with it. This is going to be another 7. So this is going to be 3 fourths of a cup. So it's actually going to be 1 cup, probably, looks like. So, if you eat this whole thing and then had some yogurt or something, it wouldn't be bad. So I've never done this, so let's just see what it does. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in the oven and time it for 15 minutes. And then we'll start on this supreme one, okay? And I'm going to put it on the middle rack, and I'm going to time it for 15 minutes. I see these things on YouTube or Facebook, and I'm thinking, how is that working like that? How do they do that? So now I've got me another pan. You just get these little pans at Walmart or the dollar store. They're like 3 for a little bit. I mean, they're not expensive. Put just a tiny bit of olive oil. Rub all that around in there. Want to say hi to my new viewers. I appreciate you so much. I've got 411 now from last week. I'm just tickled to death, honey. It just blesses my heart. I thank you all so much. So anyway, we've got the olive oil, and I'm going to go ahead and try to measure out now. This is all the low fat mozzarella that I have, or the less fat is what it's called. That ain't even a fourth of a cup. So we'll start over here with this. It's got 10 more calories per fourth of a cup. Pretty sure that's what it said. Yeah, 80 calories instead of 70. So on this second one, we're going to be using the full fat mozzarella. All right, 1/4. And then we'll do a little bit more because we had some in that. This is your crust, guys. That's what your crust is going to be made out of. And then we're going to do another container, another 1/2 cup of mine's spaghetti sauce, but I looked at the ingredients, and marinara sauce has got all these spices in it, and this has just got some meat in it, but I've got some leftover frozen sloppy joe. Oh, you can't even see me, can you? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm crazy today. I've got another 1/2 cup of spaghetti sauce that I'm using for my marinara sauce. We've got some olive oil, and we've got a 1/2 cup of mozzarella, and that's a full fat mozzarella. And what I've got here, I'm going to go ahead and put the marinara, or what I'm using for as marinara. This is going to be whatever we can come up with. I've got some onions that I'm going to chop, and I may have to cut it down, let it bake a little bit lower, because I didn't saute the onions or the peppers. So it may have to bake a little bit more. We're going to spread that around. If y'all like my videos, please share. I love it. I just love sharing if I can find. But we're going to have to get serious about the diet, so that's why I'm doing some of these things to see if they're as good as people say they are. Okay, so I mean, I've really got to get serious. So now, what I'm going to do is, I've got some leftover. And this is just sloppy joe. It's ground beef with sloppy joe, and I've unthawed it. So what I'm going to do is going to put that on there, and I'll just have, it's 93.7 ground beef. This is going to be a supreme from whatever I can find to go on it. So we're going to just use about half of that. I'm going to try to spread that because I've got some pepperoni too that I'm going to put on it. One more spoonful. So the 93.7 meat, if you're using it, and of course the sloppy joe, can of sloppy joe mix don't have that much calories. It's more or less tomatoes and seasonings is what it is. Just want to make sure everybody gets a little bite of this with the meat in it. All right. So now we've got olive oil, we've got mozzarella cheese, we've got the marinara sauce, which I'm using ragu spaghetti sauce for. And I'll try to put all this on there. We're going to put some mushrooms. This whole can of mushrooms is only 30 calories. Now my husband won't eat this because of the mushrooms. He don't like mushrooms, but I will. We're going to use that whole can. That's 30 calories for that whole can of mushrooms. I'm going to put some spinach on it. Don't let me forget, I got to put my seasonings. Alright, so we're going to push that back out of the way. Let me wash my hands here a little bit. I mean, you could put whatever you wanted to put on it. I'll put some pepperoni. Let me go ahead and put some seasoning. I'll put some oregano. Some garlic powder. So that's probably a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of oregano. I'm putting about a teaspoon of, excuse me, of Italian seasoning. That's what makes your pizza so good, is all those seasonings and that cheese that looks so good and mushy and melty. Okay, so let me put my hands off here, and then we're going to use, I might put a little bit of this salsa. It is, it's got peppers in it, and it says it is 10 calories for 2 tablespoons. So let's just put a little bit of this on here. This is clean out your refrigerator supreme pizza, isn't it? May actually be pretty good. I mean, I think if you had one of these and it was 400 or 500 calories, that would be enough to fill you. So let me put that back down, put a lid on it, and let's put that back in my fridge. Put my olive oil over here. Okay, so let's go over. We've got the olive oil, the mozzarella cheese. We've got some marinara that I use. It's ragu spaghetti sauce. We've got seasonings, oregano, Italian, and garlic. We've got a small can of mushrooms. We've got probably 2 tablespoons of cooked canned spinach drained. Some salsa, probably 2 tablespoons of salsa. And then I'm going to put some, I'm going to put some pepperoni on it too, but I'm going to chop some of this onions up that I found in the refrigerator that just about, I had to trim them up and wash them. So you can see. Well, I'm sorry about that, guys. I hit the wrong button. So right, we're just fixing to chop these onions up, or you can call scallions. These are just a little tiny green onion. And we had some in the refrigerator, and I trimmed the green off of them and cleaned all of it off and washed them and dried them good. So we're going to put this on there too. We'll call this a Clean Out Refrigerator Supreme Crustless Pizza. You know all these flavors are going to be delicious, you all. You just know they are. I'm going to take that piece out. It didn't want to cut up too good. So anyway, we're going to put this on here. And I've got some bell pepper here. What do you think? Think we just go ahead and chop that up too, put a little bit. I don't think I'm going to put it all. I may put just a little. I don't like we've got the spinach already on there. If I hadn't put the spinach, I'd have probably put all this green bell pepper. And then we've got some salsa with some peppers and onions in it also. So the rest of this I'll probably just put in a Ziploc bag and put in the refrigerator. Just a little dab here and there. Okay. How's that looking, guys? Is that looking good? So, wash my hands again. And I'm going to put another, probably another half of, well, excuse me, another half a cup, because we have a half a cup here, no, a fourth of a cup. So we're going to put 2 more, so that's going to end up being a cup on each pizza. Oh, I didn't even measure that. You see me? I'm just going out there with a hands full. Alright, and let me wash my hands again. Let me check on this one over here. It's been baking for 10 minutes. It's got 5 more minutes. And it's looking pretty good, guys. And I've got it in the middle rack. I'm going to put some pepperoni on this. Will be the last thing that we're going to do. And like I said, whatever, if you've got some leftover meat or some leftover sausage from breakfast or leftover bacon, and you want to put that on there, you can. You can put whatever flavors you like on your personal pan crustless pizza. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reset the timer on this one for 15 minutes on this one, and this other one, I'm going to check it and put this one in the bottom because it's so much thicker and got so much more on it. So I'm going to reset the time. This other one has about 4 or 5 minutes, and we're going to reset the time for 15 more minutes, and then we'll see what that one looks like here in just a few minutes. Let me get this off of here. I'm going to go ahead and put that in something. Just wrap that up and put it in a Ziploc bag, and I'll use that for something else, that little dab of green pepper. And wash my pan off while that's baking. I'm going to tell you another one that I saw that I want to do. Is a sort of like almost like a keto pancake. And everybody wants something sweet. Let me turn you back around here where you can see. I'm going to put this pepperoni in a Ziploc. Tell you what, we're waiting on these things to get ready here, to get done. I think that one's going to be done in about 4 more minutes. I'm going to stick it in the bottom to try to get it to bubble from the bottom up. Put my pepperoni back in the bag in the Ziploc and put it over here. I'm going to put my mozzarella up. Make sure you squeeze the air out of that bag. You don't want it to get moldy. And then this sloppy Joe mix, I'm not sure if my son-in-law would want that for a salad. I mean, just a sloppy Joe on a bun or what. This spinach, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with it because I'm not sure yet. Put my spices up while we're baking. And I'm going to go ahead and put my spaghetti sauce, and I will try to write all this down on my description for my video. We are going to try to quit doing so much sweets. I've got a bowl of cantaloupe, a bowl of watermelon, some grapes washed for our snack time, and then I've got some dip up there that we could use with some low-calorie Tostitos if you wanted a little. And it's probably just going to be a lot of fruit for us, and yogurt. I'm going to make some candied pecans. Probably just a glazed pecan, not the candied. Remember when we done the video? The candied is heavy with sugar, syrup, and this glazed, it has very light glaze on them. You just barely can taste the sweetness of them. And that's probably what I'm going to do, because I like glazed pecans and yogurt. And it tastes very good. And it satisfies you because it's got just a touch of sweetness. So I'm fixing to get this one out of here. Let's see. It looks like it's doing pretty good, guys. I think you have to let them cool. So I'm going to stick this one down here in the bottom so we can get some more heat on it. And I'm going to turn that on. Bake 350. And that's going to be 13 minutes on that one, because that's what was left on there, and that other one likes about 2 more minutes. So we'll lay that out here in just a minute, and we'll see what it looks like. And then I will cut you off, and I'm going to tell you about this pancake. You use a banana and an egg, and I use egg beaters, and you mash all that up really good together and make it like a sort of like a pancake mixture, and you put that in a skillet with some low-calorie butter and let it fluff up like a pancake, and then you've got a pancake. I don't have any low-calorie syrup right now unless I've got some in my pantry. I will have to look, but you know, that'd be a terrific dessert. I mean, that would completely satisfy you. So I do want to try that one to see how that, some of the stuff that you see on YouTube or Facebook, it doesn't turn out the way that they're showing that it turns out. So that's why I like trying these things, so I can let you know. And all of us can lose a pound or two and eat a little bit more healthy, okay? All right, so let me check on this other pizza. Okay, it likes 1.5 more minutes, so we're going to see. So just as soon as it gets done, I'll pull it out and I'll let it cool a minute, and I'll let you see how we cut it and slice it, and I'll see how Pap likes it, okay? All right, hold on. I'll see you in a few. All right, guys, I'm back, and I've got this one out, and I've tried to let it cool just a little bit, and I've taken and scraped back the cheese. I just got this other one, big one out. It's still hot, so we're going to wait a few minutes. I'm going to see if this is one that you would just eat out of the pan, or if it's something that you can just share with someone. So I tried to take my little pie ladle here. Now let's see what we can do here, see if we can get this out. It is still warm. I think you're supposed to let it cool completely, but we'll see. Smells delicious. All right, there's one piece. I'm just anxious to see what my husband would think about it, since it doesn't have a crust, and he's a crust lover. So that one there's got a lot of spinach on it. There's a piece of bite in here. I'm just going to try a bite of it myself. All right. So let's see what this little bite right here tastes like. That little bite right there. We're going to say thank you, Jesus, for it, and ask you to bless it. I don't miss the crust. It's very good. You would be surprised. So yes, I would do this again. So I'm going to turn you off just a minute and see what Pap thinks about it, okay? All right, folks. Pap said he liked it, so he's finishing up, and I ate one whole piece myself. this other one is still hot. And so I just went around it with a little pizza knife. And I'm just going to let it cool. So while we're doing that, I'm going to try this other recipe and see what y'all think about it. And hopefully it won't take too long. I'm going to lay this knife and thing over here with this other little pan pizza. I'm going to put a little salt on that one. It didn't have a whole lot of salt for that tomato sauce, that spaghetti sauce. So what this recipe says is you take two, it's supposed to be really ripe bananas, but I don't have, this is all I have. I don't have the really ripe ones. So we're going to take 2 bananas. I'll go ahead and turn this stove on. Get me a pan out. Let me put you back on hold just a minute. Okay, so I've got 1 banana in there, and what that recipe that I saw, it said take 1 banana, but I'm going to do 2. And it said, I want to say 1 egg. So 1 egg with an egg beater is, let's see, 1 egg is 1/3 or 1/4 of a cup. 1/4 of a cup. 1 egg. So we're going to do 2 of these. Let me mash this up first. That might be a good idea, hadn't it? So I got my masher here. So we're going to try to mash this banana up. And like I said, it said to use the ripe ones. And this is not dead ripe. I guess like they're talking like you'd make banana bread out of. But we're going to see how this works out. And I'm just mashing this up. I've got my skillet over here, but I don't have any butter or anything in it. So we're just mashing it up just like you would if you was doing banana bread. And I got a cup of clean fresh strawberries, and I've got some syrup out. Didn't have any light calorie syrup, but I could heat some syrup up. So since this has 2 bananas, I'm going to do what would amount to 2 eggs. And I've got another container there, but I think this is going to be good enough. Alright, so there we go. And this may not turn out right. I don't know. I've never heard of taking bananas and eggs. And then again, you may have to use real eggs. I'm not sure. So I just wanted you to see this. While this is, I'm still mashing, I'm going to put, just got a little bit of butter in here. And this is the 35 calorie butter. And I'm going to put just a tiny dab of oil, olive oil. Let me get a plate there just in case. Just a little tiny bit of olive oil. Just like a half a drizzle. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that on and let that be getting hot. And you can see what it looks like. But I want it to get more like a pancake mixture. So I'm just going to keep mashing, trying to get all the lumps out. Now if that had been a dead ripe banana, it would have probably done a lot better. We'll see how this goes. So we're letting our skillet get hot. I'll cut it down to about a medium. And I'm assuming you would do it just like you would a regular pancake. You'll watch it till it bubbles. I'm going to get you over here a little closer. And I'll let you see that. And we're going to start out with a spoonful. Maybe a spoonful and a half. And we'll see what it does. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little. And we'll see. This may be one of those things where it don't turn out at all and I just throw it away. I'm waiting to see if this pizza cools to see how good it is. Go ahead and see if we can't slice it. Get that pepperoni fell off there. I'm telling you, I just don't believe you could eat a whole one of these pizzas. Put this back down a little. That is a 35 calorie country crock butter. And put it on down just a little bit more. Just in case we need a little bit, we'll have it right here. I am going to put just a little bit more in there. It's not bubbling at the top yet. It barely started bubbling. Got this here. My pan's about wore out. I might have to get my little bitty pan and try it. We'll see. Let it sit there a few more minutes. So some of this stuff you see on Facebook and YouTube, it's not accurate. It doesn't look like it does on the video. Boy, that one looks good. Just tap like that one. So I'm going to put that other little piece of tap and see if he's like that one. Of course, I told him to keep out the mushroom just to take it off, because he does not like mushrooms. This pan is about had it, people. I should have thought and got my little bitty pan. And if I do another one, I'll get it out. Right here it is. It would have been perfect for that. See that little bitty pan? This one's just not going to hold together, don't look like to me. Like I said, sometimes this stuff works and sometimes it don't. It don't look too appetizing to me, but we'll see. I'll do the next one in this other pan. I'll let it sit there and fry a little while. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Got that cut down now on a medium heat. Doesn't look like the one that I saw on YouTube. It was more fluffier. I'm just wondering, maybe if the bananas, if I could have took a mixer and beat it up a little bit more, if it had been more fluffier. But that's how you learn. You learn by doing. If you never do anything, then you don't know. That sure did not hold together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that one out right there and lay that right there. And then we're going to try one in this little bitty pan. And we'll see what it does. I'm going to put just a little bit of butter in it. I don't know, maybe I had too much butter. You think so? Sometimes that happens if you have too much oil or butter. Let's try that now. And if it don't work, it don't work. We won't do it again, will we? It tastes good. It tastes very good. Let's see how I like that one. So you like them both, so that's good, because that means we can do a little bit healthier eating. This definitely is not going to turn out like what they showed on Facebook. Even with my good little pan, it's not. I don't know if you have to let it sit there and just bubble or what. We don't know. I've never done this before, so I don't know. But it's definitely not something that it's not fluffy like a pancake would be. I mean, you can't even turn it. It's like I said, some of these things you see on there, they're just not what they're crapped up to be. But I may work on this a little bit more and try to use less egg or more egg. I don't know what we'll do, but we'll try to get this to work. I'll go back and look at that video again and see just exactly what it says. 1 banana mashed up with 1 egg, and of course it could be the egg beaters where it's not holding together. It may need the real egg to bind it. I'm going to warm up just a little bit of syrup. So it's not where you can turn it. I can see that right now. See, it looks like a pancake, but it's not one that you can turn. So I'm thinking that maybe if I try it again, it will be with a real egg. It's not going to be with egg beaters. We're going to slide that one out, and I'm going to go ahead and try to fry the rest of this. And again, it might have been just where I had too much stuff in it. This little pizza right here looks good, let me tell you, it does. Tasted a little bite of it. Now let me tell you, that one's good. It tastes just like a supreme pizza. If any of you've ever done this, give me a comment. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Now that one I didn't put any extra butter or oil or anything. That still doesn't look like it's going to turn. Now I'm going to go back and watch that video and see what we're doing wrong here. I'm going to stick these in the microwave a minute and see if that'll make them fluff up. About 30 seconds and see what that does. It looks like it's brown, but it's not definitely wanting to form before you can turn it over. So let's see if any there. Looks like it did. We've got some syrup heated up here. It didn't even brown on that side at all. Now, I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on this before I try this one again. I'm putting some strawberries. Then I'm going to put some syrup. I'm telling you, I was aggravated. I'm aggravated with this recipe because it didn't do at all what it's supposed to do. maybe you're supposed to put a lid. I'm going to have to go back and watch that one, guys. Definitely going to have to go back and watch that one. Maybe that you put a lid on them and watch them. Let's see how that looks there. Let me show you that. Alright guys, I'm going to get off here. I don't want you to get bored. I will take a couple pictures of these and then I'll give you my report back when I go back to the video and see it again. So this is Sheila E. from Tennessee. Until we see each other again, may you always give God glory, praise, and thanks, for He is worthy. Alright, Sheila.